The first reviews and reactions for Loki Season 2 have come out, and they are surprisingly very, very good. Now, look, I am not going to be facetious here. Loki is one of my favorite characters in the MCU, maybe my second or third favorite character in the MCU after Steve Rogers. I did not love Loki Season 1. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think anything Marvel on Disney Plus has been all that great, other than WandaVision and Ms. Marvel. Those have been the only two great things they've had. They've had some decent things, some pretty good things, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like Loki Season 1, and they've had a lot of garbage. Just recently we had Secret Invasion. So I don't have the highest amount of excitement for any new DC or a MCU project coming out on Disney Plus, to be honest with you. And I didn't think Loki Season 1 was great. It certainly didn't do justice to the great character. But man, these first reactions are coming out and they're sounding pretty good. We're going to go over to the direct, who have quoted some people. Comicbook.com wrote, Loki Season 2 rules. The first 4 episodes have a thrilling, by the way, it sounds like a bunch of these critics were shown the first 4 episodes. So more than the first 1 or 2, which is what Disney normally lets them see, but they gave them the first 4, still not the whole series, but still. Loki Season 2 rules. The first 4 episodes have a thrilling time-traveling mystery and charm. Some of the TVA sci-fi jargon is hard to follow. The cast is tremendous together. The sets are great. Overall, it's awesome. Hoping episodes 5 and 6 stick the landing, because they're doing their pathetic 6-episode thing. Anyway, and yes, Ki-Hugh Kwan is brilliant in Loki. His character has a key role in Season 2. He brings so much charm and joy to the show. Brilliant chemistry with the rest of the cast. It's good for me to hear, because the trailers made it look like he was in a cameo and just doing one scene. Eric Davis from Fandango wrote, I love Loki. I've watched the first 4 episodes, and Loki continues to be my favorite MCU show. This season has a more frantic pace to it, which keeps tension high the entire time. Still brainy and weird, with great chemistry among its cast. Ki-Hugh Kwan is a big scene stealer, of course, but the story, full of time travel, which doesn't excite me.
Yes.
Timelines, trickery, and a guy named Timely is reminiscent of Marvel Studios at its best and most entertaining. Episodes 5 and 6 are going to be wild. Phase Zero, right? I had a blast at the Loki launch event. I only stayed for the first episode because I want to remain a woman of the people. Phase Zero, but I loved it. The direction and cinematography blew me away. I miss Tom and Owen so much. Ki-Hugh Kwan, MVP. So, I mean, and it goes on. It just keeps going on, and the positive stuff. And look, again, I tend to be a little dubious about the Disney Plus shows getting first reactions. Again, they only show them a couple of episodes. This is 2/3 of the series, so I'll give them that. Again, I don't think the Loki trailers have been great. I did not love the first season. But I will tell you what, these are getting me a little stoked. And we are 2 days away, 48 hours away from Loki Season 2 debuting, coming out on Thursday and at prime time, not dropping at midnight, which is great. And I think that experiment they did with Ahsoka clearly has worked for them. Yeah. As all of us, you guys at home, us, we all knew it would.
They did it for me.
Just for you.
Chris, we know you don't want to stay up.
So, yeah, listen, fantastic stuff out there. I remain a little skeptical. But my hope springs eternal. I hope we do get a Loki season that is truly worthy of this character. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Vessi. Now, like me, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Vessi, the shoe that claims to be incredibly comfortable and waterproof on top of that. Well, these claims are really interesting to me because as a Canadian who walked around in a lot of snow, and as somebody who likes to go camping and hiking with his wife on the weekends, there's nothing more uncomfortable and horrible than walking around in wet feet. So after receiving my first pair of Vessis and noticing how incredibly good looking the shoes are and how mind-boggling comfortable and flexible they are, the first thing I did was I took them into the backyard to put it to the supreme waterproof test and dipped my feet in my pool. Guys, my feet were bone dry, and like 20 seconds after having them in the pool and I touched them, the shoes themselves were also bone dry. Guys, seriously, these shoes are stupidly comfortable, they look great, and they absolutely lived up to the claim of being waterproof and keeping my feet dry. I absolutely love my Vessi shoes. So guys, if you want shoes that are good looking, are ridiculously comfortable, and on top of all that, waterproof, you need to head to Vessi.com/Campea and get yourselves a pair today. Go to Vessi.com/Campea and get shoes for your best summer yet. Chris, you hear about this. Where are your expectations right now for the season, and have these reviews we've heard coming out and some of the commentary we're hearing help move the needle at all?
Most shocking thing. Quan is charming and scene stealing? What? Who saw that coming? He's perfect. He's wonderful at everything. I love him so much. Oh, I'm glad that he's not in there just for a blip, though.
By the way, Academy Award winner.
Academy Award
Quan.
Quan. Oh, I adore him. What a great guy. See, I'm trying to just be like, no, it's going to be fine. I'll watch the show. It ticks so many of my boxes. It's got time travel, which I love, and I know you don't, but I freaking love time travel so much. I love wibbly wobbly timey lines. So I really, really want this to be good. It's a Doctor Who reference.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
So I really want this to stick the landing. I really want this to be good. But again, I have been burned before, and I don't want to get my hopes up. So I am excited about it. I'm with you that the trailers haven't looked great. It's been a lot of hair flips. It's been a lot of hair flipping. Don't play the drinking game. You will die. You will
really
die.
matched his color scheme.
It's very Wes Anderson. If Wes Anderson was doing sci-fi, I feel like it's that kind of aesthetic right there, complete with Owen Wilson. So it's perfect. But I'm trying to just tamper those expectations. So,
look, the MCU on Disney Plus has been overall a disappointment. Again, a couple of great things, but most of the stuff they've put on there has either just failed to live up to expectations or not really met their potential or just been bad, you know? So the question then becomes, let's say Loki season 2 is fantastic. All right, let's play this game for a second. Could that mean or be the first step in the MCU getting back on track? Because one could argue that Loki season 2 is the second major step leading towards Avengers Kang Dynasty. The first step was a flop, was a failure, which was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, right? So that didn't work out so well. That didn't get anybody excited for a Kang Dynasty movie. So, but if this one's great, could that reignite some excitement? Could that reignite the hope that we have? Could that reignite what we as moviegoers have been used to, which is being excited for the next Avengers movie? And I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe it can, because you got Loki in here, who's a far more popular. I love Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. Love Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, but he's not Loki. So you got one of the absolute franchise favorites in the show that a lot of people are looking forward to. If they can knock this out of the park, and if they can do stuff with Kang in it that's meaty, then maybe it can be the redo on the first step towards Avengers Kang Dynasty and getting people looking forward to that. Because right now, Chris, I just feel like a lot of people are like me, a little disillusioned with the MCU at the moment. Mm-hmm. You know, we know how good the MCU can be because they did it for years. And maybe this can be the promise. Okay, look, if you end up loving this show, let's say you do, argument's sake, let's jump forward 6 weeks and you love Loki season 2. How does that change your outlook overall of where the MCU's at right now?
Oh, it definitely would reinvigorate how I'm feeling about everything. Because Loki is such a wonderful kind of blueprint for what a Marvel villain should be, in my opinion. And Marvel, for a long time, has had a villain problem, where they've all kind of ended up being these jobbers who are one-off movie characters or one-off TV show characters. And the strongest ones we've had, Loki has stuck around and has had a beautiful redemption arc. Others, Kilgrave, if we're going Netflix, killed off, right? And that was a wonderful, powerful character who had real consequences and could take down any super-powered individual. Other people we've had pop up, god butchers, big gods like Dormammu, things like this that are huge, all-encompassing evils are one-and-dones. And Kang promises a real threat that should go on for several films, right? Loki is such a great gateway to that because he was our big bad who connected us to all of the worst things then. He was our gateway to Thanos, ultimately. And it's really beautiful to see him come full circle and try to be that better man, try to be the kingly figure that he always viewed himself to be, but with actual care and compassion for others as opposed to seeking power and dominance for himself. And I think that's such a great juxtaposition against Kang, who feels that he is the right ruler, the right fit to govern the universe and all timelines. So if it works, oh man, could it be really cool? If it doesn't, what a warm fart on a cold toilet seat.
But let's explore that. I'm doing the.
Let's explore that fart.
Let's explore the warm fart.
Yes.
Which is, we talked about, okay, if it's great, get it changed. But could it the opposite be true? Let's say Loki season 2 is horrible. Again, we're just talking theoretical, like we were talking theoretical if it's great.
Yeah.
I wonder if the consequences could be that Kang Dynasty's dead in the water. Because they already blew the first step towards Kang Dynasty and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. If they blow Loki season 2, I mean, they are really digging themselves in a hole.
Absolutely. They're setting up an event. And so far, we've stumbled for the first few steps after the gun's gone off, right?
Right.
We really need to pick up that momentum and really fire off. Otherwise, you can't have an event film if there's no build up towards it.
Oh, I agree.
Look at how the Endgame film happened. We need that momentum.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.